If you have spent any time in the chess world, you probably have noticed something. Magnus Carlsen and GothamChess are totally inseparable. Take this moment for example. Levy was so shocked when he saw Magnus Carlsen for the first time ever. He was so sincere, but same time so nervous. But why Levy Rozman is so much obsessed with this Norwegian chess genius? It shows that Magnus is not another grandmaster for him. But why? Let's dive in.
Magnus said something so funny to me. Magnus Carlsen? Magnus Carlsen. Magnus Carlsen is Magnus Carlsen. Magnus Carlsen was... This is Magnus Carlsen. Magnus Carlsen.
Hi, I'm GothamChess, and I'm here with...
Magnus, who is famous from Levy's YouTube videos.
Magnus videos have high engagement. Whether it's brilliancy or blunder, people love to see what the world champion is up to. And GothamChess has simply mastered this formula. GothamChess openly stated his admiration to Magnus Carlsen. It's not just about content strategy. It aligns how people psychologically attach themselves to figures of greatness. Viewers feel connected to celebrities and influencers. Even creators themselves can develop similar admiration to people they constantly analyze. Magnus Carlsen recently started acknowledging him.
The greatest chess player ever watched my video of me losing like a...
Levy Rozman, in the interview, offered a deal to Magnus Carlsen that he would donate $20 to Norwegia of any charity of every single photo he would use of Magnus Carlsen. But Magnus simply declined it and just said,
I'm gonna offer you a deal. For every Magnus thumbnail I make, I have to donate $20 to a Norwegian charity, or any charity of your choosing.
No. No. That's okay. I'm a bit of a narcissist anyway, so I enjoy it.
This shows that while GothamChess builds narrative around Magnus, it's a one-sided street in Magnus' mind. The most important is when GothamChess asked Magnus Carlsen of how many beers would Magnus need to drink in order Levy to beat him in a classical chess match, where Magnus replied that he would need at least 20 beers. Here, GothamChess got so angry, and he said that he knows that he is bad, but not that bad. So he challenged Magnus into match, where Magnus had to wear beer goggles, which would simulate drinking 20 beers. Here, GothamChess thought that he would have a chance against Magnus. But let's see how it turned out. Okay, now let's analyze game between Magnus Carlsen and Levy Rozman. Magnus was with white and Levy was with black. e4, d5, e takes d5, queen takes d5, knight c3. Regular Scandinavian continuation. Queen on a5, d4, knight on f6, knight on f3, and bishop f5. This is simply theoretical, which I never play, but it's pretty common and pretty much played among top-level chess players. Bishop c4, e6. e6 is regular move, just simply not to allow attack on f7. Bishop d2. Bishop d2's idea is to attack this knight like idea on knight d5, knight b5, etc. And that's why now black is forced to play bishop b4 to simply cover this diagonal. a3, and here GothamChess, as known as Levy Rozman, is making correct move, and he played bishop c3. If he would not play bishop c3, he would play bishop d6, for example. It's lost after d5, as this queen is trapped, and then after castle, just simple attack to this king. Bishop takes c3, and queen b6. Here, even though white has pair of bishops advantage, and seems like Magnus has better position, still it's fine. Black is doing fine, and after queen e2, Levy played castle. Well, castle is good move, but also was possible to play knight bd7 as to wait if Magnus would do long castle or short castle, and then Black would decide either they would need to do long castle or short castle. So here, Levy played castle, and then Magnus decided to do long castle. The idea here was simple, to start attacking to king side of Levy Rozman's game. Knight d5, knight on e5, and after knight on e5, it's really tempting for Levy to take this bishop on c3 and to make white's pawn structure really bad. But here, even though white's pawn structure is bad, still white has slightly better position, as their pieces are really active, black's knight has to still develop, so it's not easy game for Levy at all. Knight c6 and g4, which was mistake here. Instead of g4, Magnus should have just played knight d7, which attacks this queen and rook same time, and if queen on a5, there is king b2, protecting this pawns well, attacking rook and idea of knight c5, and it's absolutely great position for Magnus. But as you know, that Magnus was wearing beer goggles, and it was not easy simply here to play game properly. So he played g4, which was a mistake here. And here, Levy played bishop g6, another mistake. So after g4, Magnus gave a chance to Levy to simply equalize the position. Knight on e5 was only move here to do so. D takes e5, and if bishop g6, which is only move, f4 and queen c6. And here, Levy just simply attacking this bishop and then this pawn, so Levy is doing absolutely great. And even queen takes on e5, there is just bishop g6, which is absolutely great continuation for the Levy. So here, Magnus decided to take on g6. After knight takes g6, there is h takes g6. Knight g6 is also a mistake. Instead of that, there would be better to play knight d7. And after queen on a5, just simply take on f8 and Magnus would just get extra exchange. And knight g6 here is just simply mistake. H takes g6 and h4. Just attacking king side, and queen on a5 is also another mistake from Levy. Instead of queen on a5, would be better to play knight on a5 just simply to attack this bishop and somehow play c5 to simply start opening king side. Queen on a5, king b2 and queen b6. Here Levy probably thought that Magnus would go back on c1 and make a draw, but as always Magnus is playing for the win, and he played king on a2 and Magnus has a slightly better position. Knight on e7, correct move to play knight d5 next. h5 and knight d5, absolutely great. Bishop takes d5 and e takes d5. Here Magnus decided to trade this knight as neutralize this knight and just simply attack king with two rooks and queen, which would be enough. But here Magnus made a mistake and played h6. Instead of that, would be much better to play f4 first, an idea to play queen on h2 and take this pawn instead. But he played h6 and then Levy played rook on fe8, which is good move, and here still Levy can protect this position. Queen d2, another mistake. Would be better here if Magnus would play queen d3 and then f4 and push this pawn. Queen d2, queen on f6, mistake from Levy, and it was huge mistake. After queen d2, finally Levy got another chance here to simply equalize the position, so he should have played queen b5. The idea here to play queen c4, not to let this pawn move forward, same time control these light squares, and same time also queen d7 and to attack this pawn on g4. But queen on f6 is already lost because after h takes g7, white's queen is already coming to the game to attack king. Instead of king g7, queen g7 would be much better, just simply to protect the king and then just simply play instead of the g5, but this is still lost, but at least Levy will not lose that easily after king g7. Queen on h6, queen is coming to game, king g8 and rook d3. The idea here is just simply to play rook on h3, rook on e3, etc. But here Levy decided to play queen g7, and Levy decided that he wanted to trade these queens. And of course, as you are defending this position, you want to trade your opponent's attacking pieces. So remember, when you have attacking pieces, when you're attacking to your opponent, you should remain as many pieces as possible and not to trade them. And when you are defending the position, you need to trade as many attacking pieces as possible, and then it will be less chance that you will lose the game. For example, if Magnus took g7, king takes g7, and this is absolutely equal because there is no more queen and black is doing fine. So that's why Magnus played queen on h2, and then it opens the rank for rook to go to h3. Rook on e6 and rook on h3, the perfect continuation. King on f8 and rook on h8, and this position is absolutely lost. King e7, queen takes e7, king on f6, rook takes a8, king g5, queen g3, king on f6, very bad, like it's already lost anyway because white was winning. Rook, g5, king on f5, queen on f3, king g5, rook g1, king on h6 and queen on h1, checkmate, and it's absolutely lost for Levy, and well, he got checkmated. So as you can see, when Magnus was wearing these beer goggles, he still managed to beat GothamChess. So what kind of chances we have to play against Magnus in any conditions? I don't know. But even this failure did not stop GothamChess to continue doing content of Magnus. GothamChess is master of storytelling, and Magnus games provide endless material. Whether Magnus wins brilliantly or blunders, his games have always exciting angle, which pulls in regular audience. His way of speaking and excitement can literally turn any Magnus regular game into historic event. At the end of the day, Gotham's obsession with Magnus Carlsen is not just about views. It's a mix of storytelling, business savvy, and simply admiration. And let's be honest, as long as Magnus keeps delivering, we're gonna watch them. And thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, make sure to give thumbs up and subscribe my YouTube channel.